What if, like, the very energy that makes the energy that drives your whole being was like a melody just waiting for you to like compose it? Imagine this for a second. You have within you these 7 powerful energy centers, almost like instruments in an orchestra, right? Your chakras, and they each have their own unique vibration, contributing to like the overall symphony of your health and well-being. You know, when these instruments are in tune, life's music, it just flows so effortlessly. But when there's a note that's off, when a chakra is out of alignment, it can like create dissonance. So the really cool question we're diving into today is, can science help us understand and even like tune these inner instruments? Welcome to the Quantum Soul channel.
I love that analogy, that this whole idea of inner energy as music. It just makes sense, right? Like it just clicks with that feeling that so many of us have, that there's got to be more to us than just this physical stuff, you know? And it sets the stage perfectly for what we're going to explore today. How science is starting to intersect with these ancient ideas of chakras and these subtle bodies, all based on this awesome material you've brought.
Exactly. Our mission, what we really want to do in this deep dive, is to get right into the nuts and bolts of how science is approaching these energy systems. Can it give us real, like, solid insights into how they work? And even more importantly, can understanding them maybe unlock ways to better health and well-being? It's not just theory here, you know, it's about what we can actually do.
Absolutely. It's about bridging that gap, you know, like that gap that sometimes feels huge between ancient wisdom and modern science. What really gets me is that the idea of these energy centers, it's not just from one culture, right? Like, think about ancient Egypt thousands of years ago. They were already mapping out these energy points on the body, and they believed they were super important for health and vitality. It's like people all over the world and throughout history have always felt this subtle energy. And now, finally, science is catching up.
Which brings us to this big question. How can science, which is all about measuring and proving things, how can it even begin to study something like chakra energy? Okay, so first things first, what exactly are these chakras and subtle bodies?
Okay, so think of chakras as these like focal points of energy located along the Sushumna Nadi. It's basically the central energy channel that runs right along your spine. Imagine them like little whirlpools or hubs of energy, each one connected to certain parts of our physical, emotional, and even spiritual health. And then there are these subtle bodies. They're like these layers of energy fields that go beyond our physical body. They kind of interweave with it and interact with the chakras. They're always influencing our overall state of being.
Wow, so it's not just the physical body we see, there are these like layers of energy around us, each one doing its thing.
That's it. And what's really cool is that scientists are starting to realize that energy plays a much bigger role in how our bodies work than we used to think. Like, advances in biophysics and stuff are giving us whole new ways to understand how these energy systems might actually work and how they affect our health.
That's like a totally different way of thinking about ourselves. So even though we can't see these energy layers, they're still really important, right? Can you give us like a quick tour, like a mental map of the 7 main chakras that everyone talks about?
Sure. Okay, so imagine that line running down your spine. Starting at the bottom is the root chakra. It's usually associated with the color red. It's all about feeling grounded, connected to the earth. It governs our sense of security and like survival instincts. Then, if you move up a little bit, just below the navel, there's the sacral chakra. It's orange and it's about creativity, emotions, and, you know, sensuality. And then a bit higher in the stomach area is the solar plexus chakra. It's yellow and it's the center of personal power, confidence, and willpower.
Okay, so we've got grounding, creativity, and power. What's next as we go up?
Right in the middle of your chest is the heart chakra. It's usually green and it's all about love, compassion, empathy, that feeling of connection to yourself and others. Then if you go up to your throat, that throat chakra, it's blue and it's all about communication, expressing yourself truly, and speaking your truth. Right between your eyebrows is the third eye chakra. It's usually indigo, and it's about intuition. It's that ability to perceive things beyond the physical senses. And finally, right at the top of your head is the crown chakra. It's violet or sometimes pure white light. It's your connection to spirituality, to a higher consciousness, to a sense of oneness with everything.
It's like a whole rainbow of energy inside us, each color representing a different part of who we are. And this energy, it's not just sitting there, right? It's got to be moving somehow.
Exactly. This energy, it's often called prana or chi, and it flows all through these chakras and these subtle energy channels. It affects everything about our lives. When these energy systems are balanced and everything's flowing right, we usually feel healthy, energized, and just good overall. But when there are blockages or things get out of whack, that's when we might start feeling physical pain, emotional stress, or even a sense of being spiritually lost.
So this ancient model, it's not just some philosophy. It can really affect how we experience life.
Right.
Yeah, and you said that scientists are starting to study this connection between our energy and our health.
Yeah, totally. There are these fields like bioenergy and energetic medicine, and researchers are super interested in figuring out the science behind these energy systems. They want to find ways to improve health by working with them. It's like this amazing blend of ancient wisdom and cutting-edge science.
It's mind-blowing, really. So we have this long history in these philosophies about chakras and subtle bodies. But how is science actually studying chakra energy? What are they doing?
This is where it gets really interesting. Researchers are using all sorts of high-tech tools to try and understand how energy works in the human body. One way they're doing it is with neuroimaging, things like electroencephalography, EEG, and functional magnetic resonance imaging, fMRI.
I've heard of those, but aren't they usually used for brain research? How are they being used to study chakras?
Right, both EEG and fMRI let us see what's happening in the brain. EEG measures electrical activity, and fMRI looks at blood flow. The idea is that maybe how active your chakras are is reflected in how your brain is working. For example, researchers might look for changes in brainwave patterns or see more blood flow to parts of the brain that process emotions when someone's focusing on their heart chakra. It's not directly measuring chakra energy, but it's looking for clues in the brain.
So it's like looking for a reflection of chakra activity in the brain. What other scientific tools are they using?
Another cool technique is thermography. Remember, we talked about that before. It uses infrared cameras to create like a heat map of your body. The thinking is that if there's a problem with energy flow in a chakra, it might show up as a change in temperature in that part of your body. A balanced chakra might have a nice even temperature, but a blocked one might be hotter or colder than usual.
Wow, so it's like seeing a thermal image of our inner energy.
Exactly. And while we know that skin temperature can change for all sorts of reasons, researchers are trying to design studies that can specifically link those temperature changes to what's happening with the chakras.
Fascinating. Beyond just measuring things, what evidence are scientists finding about the connection between these energy systems and our health, physically and emotionally?
Well, there's more and more research coming out on how things like meditation and yoga, which have been used to balance chakras for ages, can affect our health. Lots of studies have shown that meditation can lower stress hormones and help with anxiety and depression. This makes sense because calming your mind and nervous system probably helps energy flow better through the chakras. And yoga, with all the poses, the breathing, and the focus, has been shown to improve flexibility and strength, and also to make people feel more mentally clear and emotionally balanced. These are all things that could be linked to the chakras being more in tune.
So even if science can't directly measure chakra energy yet, it can see the benefits of practices that work with them. That's pretty convincing, right?
I think so. It suggests that even if we don't fully understand the mechanisms from a purely scientific viewpoint, these ancient practices are really effective, and that really supports the idea that these energy systems are important.
This is all really groundbreaking stuff. To see ancient wisdom being studied with modern science is so exciting. And if you're as fascinated by this deep dive into the science of chakras and subtle bodies as we are, now's the perfect time to hit that subscribe button for the Quantum Soul channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying the ride, and please share it with anyone you think might find this exploration of science and spirituality as amazing as we do.
So now that we've talked about the overall scientific picture, let's hear from some of the researchers who are really diving deep into this. We got to interview 3 experts, and each one had a unique perspective on this whole thing.
First up, we had Dr. John Smith. He's a top researcher in bioenergy. What were some of the key things he shared with us?
Dr. Smith was really excited about how science is starting to back up the chakra system. He said something like, "We're finding more and more proof that chakras aren't just metaphors, they represent real energy happening in the body. We can measure these subtle electromagnetic fields and other things that seem to match up with the locations and functions of the chakras." His research is all about finding more precise ways to measure these energy patterns and figuring out how they relate to health and disease. Ultimately, he wants to use this knowledge to develop new kinds of therapies.
So he's talking about measurable electromagnetic fields that align with the chakras. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, his work is exploring this idea that the chakras might actually create and control these subtle electromagnetic fields. He and his team are using really sensitive equipment to see if these fields have specific frequencies or patterns that correspond to the different chakras, and whether those patterns change when a chakra is out of balance.
Amazing. Next, we had a chance to chat with Dr. Maria Garcia, who specializes in energetic medicine. What was her take on the science of chakras?
Dr. Garcia was really focused on how we can use this scientific understanding of chakras in real-life situations. She said, "Our research is showing that things like mindful movement and energy healing can actually change things in the body. Like, they affect how we respond to stress, how well our immune system works, and even how our cells regenerate. We might not be measuring chakra energy directly in the traditional sense, but the positive results we see suggest that these practices are definitely working on the body's body's energy systems. Her work involves doing clinical trials to see how effective these energetic medicine approaches are.
So she's looking at whether chakra balancing practices have measurable benefits for people's health.
Exactly. She sets up studies with control groups and really specific ways to measure the results. She's trying to figure out if things like meditation and energy healing, which are aimed at balancing the chakras, can actually improve different health markers. What she's finding is adding to the evidence that energetic medicine can really work.
That's so cool. And lastly, we had Dr. Robert Johnson, who's an expert in thermography research. What did he have to say about the scientific study of chakras?
Dr. Johnson was really excited about the potential of thermography, that heat map thing. He believes it could be a really good tool for visualizing the energy patterns of the chakras. He said, thermography mainly measures surface temperature, but our research is suggesting that if we see consistent patterns of uneven temperatures or unusual heat spots in areas where the chakras are, it might mean that there's an energy imbalance. And this could be a way to both assess someone's energy and see if the treatments they're doing to rebalance their energy are actually working. He was careful to say that more research is needed, but he thinks thermography could be a really useful visual tool for understanding this stuff.
So thermography might be able to show us like a visual picture of energy imbalances in the chakras.
That's what his research is trying to figure out. By creating these heat maps and then looking at how they change after people do different therapies, he's hoping to get a more objective understanding of how these therapies might be affecting the body's energy.
It's really amazing to see how all these different scientific fields are coming together to explore the ancient wisdom of chakras. It makes you realize there's really something to this. Now, let's shift gears a little bit and talk about these subtle bodies. How do these layers of energy affect our health and well-being?
The idea of subtle bodies gives us a more complete picture of our energy. Like we talked about before, these are seen as separate layers of energy that go beyond the physical body. Each layer has its own vibration and its own specific functions. They're all intertwined with the chakras, creating this complex web of energy that influences our health and consciousness.
And there are 4 main subtle bodies, right? Besides the physical one. Can you tell us more about each one and what it does?
Sure. So the first one, the closest to the physical body, is called the etheric body. It's like an energetic blueprint of your physical form. It extends just a little bit beyond your body, and it's considered to be the source of your vitality, your life force energy. It directly affects your physical health. When your etheric body is strong and balanced, you're more likely to be physically healthy. But when it's out of whack, you might feel tired, weak, or even start to get sick. Things like deep breathing exercises and gentle movement can help to boost the etheric body.
So the etheric body is like the energy support system for our physical body. What about the next layer?
The next one is the astral body, and it's all about emotions, feelings, and dreams. It's more fluid and less fixed than the etheric body, and it can extend further out from the physical body. When the astral body is imbalanced, you might experience emotional ups and downs, mood swings, or have trouble dealing with your feelings. Practices like releasing trapped emotions and certain types of meditation can help bring the astral body back into harmony.
So how we feel emotionally is directly linked to our astral body. That makes sense. What comes after that?
After the astral body is the mental body. This is where our thoughts, beliefs, and thinking processes hang out. It's related to our mental clarity, focus, and how we understand the world. If your mental body is imbalanced, you might feel mentally foggy, have a lot of negative thoughts, or find it hard to make decisions. Practices like mindfulness meditation and reframing your thoughts can help balance the mental body.
It's so interesting how each layer corresponds to a different part of our experience. What's the outermost one?
The outermost one is the causal body. It's the most subtle of them all, and it's associated with our soul's journey. It's about our connection to something bigger than ourselves, our higher wisdom, and our sense of purpose in life. It's believed to hold karmic imprints and the blueprint for our spiritual growth. If your causal body is imbalanced, you might feel disconnected from your true self, or like your life lacks meaning. Practices like deep meditation and selfless service are often said to bring the causal body into balance.
It sounds like these subtle bodies aren't just separate things, but all work together, along with the chakras.
Absolutely. They're all part of this intricate energy system. And to really achieve well-being on all levels, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, it's crucial to understand and try to balance these subtle bodies, just like we work with the chakras.
This gives us such a richer understanding of our energetic anatomy.
Yeah.
But let's talk practical stuff now. What can people actually do with this knowledge about chakras and subtle bodies? How can they use it to improve their lives and their health?
This is where all this theory comes to life. There are several simple things you can start doing every day. Like we've been talking about, meditation is a really great way to calm your mind and get that energy flowing smoothly through your chakras and subtle body.
We did a basic chakra visualization earlier. Maybe we could do another one now, a little more in depth this time to really help people experience it.
Okay, great idea. So find a place where you can sit or lie down comfortably and won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and just focus on your breath. Feel that natural rhythm as you breathe in and out. Now bring your attention to the base of your spine where your root chakra is. Imagine a vibrant red light shining from that spot. Feel it grounding you, filling you with a sense of stability and security. Let yourself feel its warmth and strength. Next, move your focus up a little bit just below your belly button to your sacral chakra. See a beautiful orange light flowing there. It's igniting your creativity and welcoming all your emotions with warmth and acceptance. Feel that vibrant energy awakening your senses. Go up to your solar plexus in your stomach area and picture a bright yellow light there. It's empowering you with confidence, willpower, and inner strength. Feel its radiant energy fueling your actions. Now continue up to your heart chakra, right in the center of your chest. See a beautiful emerald green light there, expanding with love and compassion for yourself and everyone around you. Feel its gentle embrace. Now shift your focus up to your throat chakra. See a clear blue light that's helping you express yourself authentically and communicate honestly. Feel its clarity and truth. Now move up to your third eye chakra, right between your eyebrows. Visualize a deep indigo light there, enhancing your intuition and insight. Feel its wise and perceptive energy. And finally, go all the way up to your crown chakra at the very top of your head. Imagine a brilliant violet or white light connecting you to a higher consciousness and a sense of oneness with everything. Feel its divine radiance. Spend a few moments with each chakra, just breathing gently and allowing that light to balance and harmonize each energy center. When you're ready, bring your attention back to your breath and slowly open your eyes. Doing this visualization regularly, even for a few minutes each day, can have a powerful effect on your energy.
It's a beautiful practice, and anyone can do it. What about movement? Like yoga, for example.
Yoga is incredible. It combines poses, breathing, and mindfulness, and all of these things work together to balance the chakras and subtle bodies. Sequences like Surya Namaskar or the Sun Salutation are awesome for getting energy flowing through all the chakras. And certain poses can target specific chakras. For example, heart-opening poses like camel pose and cobra pose are often used to stimulate and balance the heart chakra. If you practice yoga regularly, you might notice more energy, less tension, and a greater sense of inner peace.
And what about people who are interested in more direct ways to work with their energy?
There are energy therapies like Reiki, therapeutic touch, and even acupuncture that can be really helpful for balancing the chakras and subtle bodies. Reiki practitioners channel this universal life force energy to help with healing and balance. Therapeutic touch practitioners use gentle hand movements to work with the body's energy field. And acupuncture, which is part of traditional Chinese medicine, uses tiny needles placed at specific points along energy pathways in the body called meridians to get energy flowing properly again. These meridians are very similar to the chakra system.
It's great that there are so many different options, right? People can find what resonates with them best. Imagine someone who's had chronic pain for years and finds relief through acupuncture, or someone who experiences deep emotional release through Reiki, or someone who feels so much more alive after doing yoga consistently. These modalities can really help people feel better.
Definitely. It's all about exploring and finding what works best for you, your needs, and your preferences.
So we've talked about what chakras and subtle bodies are, the science behind them, what experts are saying, how they affect our health, and even practical things people can do. Now let's answer some of the questions you might be having.
Absolutely. Here are a few we think might be on your mind. First, if someone's totally new to all this, what's the easiest way to start working with their chakras and subtle bodies?
What would be a good first step?
Like we said before, simple practices that you do consistently, like that chakra visualization meditation we just did, are perfect for starting out. Even if you only have 5 or 10 minutes a day to sit and focus on your breath and visualize the colors and energy of your chakras, it can make a difference. It starts to bring awareness and balance to those subtle energy systems.
Another question we hear a lot is, how can we know for sure that science will ever really be able to prove that things like chakras and subtle bodies exist?
That's a great question, and scientists are definitely still working on it. As we talked about, tools like EEG and fMRI are giving us clues about what's happening in the brain when people focus on their chakras. Thermography might be able to show us a picture of energy imbalances. And as technology gets better, Who knows what new ways we'll find to measure and understand these subtle energies? It's an exciting time for this kind of research.
And what are some of the benefits people might experience if they actively work on balancing their chakras and subtle bodies?
The potential benefits are huge. It can improve your physical health, make you more emotionally resilient, help you think more clearly, lower stress and anxiety, increase your flexibility and strength, and just give you a greater sense of well-being and inner peace. It's all about creating harmony in your whole energy system.
One last question. How can people tell if their chakras or subtle bodies are out of balance? What should they look for?
The most important thing is to pay attention to yourself. Notice if you have any physical symptoms that keep coming back, emotional states that seem to stick around, or thought patterns that you just can't seem to break. These can all be signs that something's off in your energy. For example, if you're always tired, it could mean that your root chakra is imbalanced. Or if you're constantly anxious, it might be your solar plexus or heart chakra. The more you practice things like meditation and yoga, the more sensitive you'll become to your energy. It's like you'll start to develop a deeper connection with your body and mind, and you'll be able to recognize and address imbalances more easily.
So it's all about becoming more aware of what's happening inside us and understanding that our physical, emotional, and energetic well-being are all connected.
Exactly. It's an ongoing journey of getting to know yourself and taking care of your energy.
Well, as we wrap up this deep dive, we've covered a lot. We've explored the history of chakras and subtle bodies, the fascinating science that's emerging, the insights of experts in the field, and practical ways you can bring more balance and well-being into your life. And we've seen how this energy flowing through us affects our health on so many levels.
And the key thing to remember is that this isn't just some abstract idea. It's about taking real steps to create a healthier, more resilient, and more harmonious life for yourself. It's about feeling more vibrant, handling your emotions better, and thinking more clearly. It's about being proactive with your energy.
Now we'd love to hear from you. Have you ever felt that something was off in your energy? What practices help you feel grounded and centered? How do you see science and spirituality fitting together in your understanding of well-being? And what are you hoping to improve in your life by exploring your energetic nature? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. We love hearing from you, and your insights are always so valuable to our community.
Your questions and experiences really help to create a supportive and insightful space for everyone, so please share what resonates with you.
If you've enjoyed this deep dive and learned something new, please subscribe to the Quantum Soul channel for more videos exploring spirituality, science, and the mysteries of consciousness. We've got some great upcoming videos that go even deeper into practical applications and related topics, so make sure to stay tuned. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with anyone who might benefit from it.
Sharing knowledge is such a powerful way to help everyone grow and understand more.
And for those of you who want to dive even deeper into this topic, we've created a special ebook called A Complete Guide to Chakras and Subtle Bodies. It's full of practical exercises, detailed explanations, and helpful resources to guide you on your journey of exploring and balancing your energy. You can find a link to get the ebook in the pinned comment below this video.
It's a great resource to support your continued learning and practice.
And now on your screen, you'll see 2 more videos from our channel that we think you'll really enjoy. They'll help you continue your journey of self-discovery and well-being. So click on one of them to keep exploring, learning, and striving for that beautiful state of inner balance. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep balancing.